Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Deep into the Heart of Wrestling. My name is Mike Larkin, and by my side, as always, he is a crazy-eyed son of a gun, and when it comes to TNA Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, he's ready to get down to the nitty-gritty and get rid of that six-sided ring, brother. The one, the Mr. Robert Davis. How are you, Roberto?
Hello, sir. How are we doing today?
I am good, and as always, by our side, we are joined by that girl, the Divaness Nicola McDonald, and when it comes to TNA in 2010, she is ready to hit Homicide over the head with a chair like Jeff Hardy making his TNA debut. How are you, Nicola?
Hello, I am really good. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
okay.
so haven't analyzed, dissected, and deciphered, folks. We are going to be talking about the 14-year anniversary, which is crazy to think of the TNA WWE Monday Night War, which began on January 4th, 2010. But before we dissect into that, what really was the antithesis of what we have here today is the fact of a certain someone, brother, let me tell you something, dude, signed with TNA in late 2009. There was a big press conference at the Mecca, Madison Square Garden, with Eric Bischoff, Dick Cicada, honey, and Hulk Hogan. The big announcement, Hulk Hogan's coming to TNA. He's looking to change the landscape, and then TNA goes to Monday nights. So I'm going to start with Nicola on this. Now, you are the TNA fanatic, one of the aficionados, if you will. TNA, 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 Nicola.
Yep.
You. We're going to start it like this. Hulk Hogan gets announced. He's signing. He's coming to TNA, and then TNA announces that they are moving to Monday nights for the first time in over, I'll say, 15 years at this particular time period, that we're going to have two wrestling shows on the same night. What were your thoughts on Hogan coming in, and what were your thoughts of the announcement of TNA going to Monday nights?
So back then, I thought Hogan was a legend because obviously growing up with him in wrestling anyway and whatever else. So I did really like him, and I thought it was a good idea at the time that was going to happen, and it was going to make it all a lot bigger, and new things were coming. That's what I was hoping for. When it changed to Monday, and also I will admit it did change to Mondays here as well, so it weren't just there. So we had it on UK TV as well, and I actually found it frustrating because it was kind of like my weekend thing, and then all of a sudden it was on a Monday, and it was like it threw me, but it was good at that point as well. Oh, apologies. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good, and I thought it was a good idea.
Roberto, now you hear the Hulkster brother. Now, the last time you saw Hulk Hogan in TNA was Jeff Jarrett brought TNA to Hulk Hogan in Japan, where he made that Japan appearance right after leaving WWE during his tenure in 03 as Mr. America, like we didn't know it was Hulk Hogan, brother. And Hogan's a bloody mess. He gets the old guitar shot, the El Kabong, right to the face, and Hulk Hogan was originally going to fight Jeff Jarrett, but it never came into fruition at the time. And now here he is 7 years later. Roberto, what were your thoughts? Hulk Hogan coming to TNA and then the move to Monday nights. What were your thoughts, Roberto?
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Again, kind of like Nico had mentioned, this is definitely one of those moments where it's how it started, how it's going. Because with every intention, we thought, okay, Hulk Hogan, cool. This guy knows what he's talking about. Cool. We get ourselves a little Monday Night War again. Really cool. This should be a lot of fun. And things kind of happen. So initially, I thought it would have been a good idea, but yeah, we kind of know what happened.
Ooh, I will say this now, Roberto. Let me talk about you, Mr. Monday Night War over here. This one over here has probably seen it. He remembers the graphic where it comes on the screen while you're watching Nitro. Hulk Hogan is signed with World Championship Wrestling. The parade, the confetti, Robert Davis, you know what I'm talking about, sir. MGM Studios. Oh my goodness, Hulk Hogan put pen to paper, baby. And then here we are in 2010 now. And we have Hulk Hogan involved. Here comes Eric Bischoff. We are just coming off of the Hulk Hogan Australian tour. And, man, we get to January 4th, 2010. Here comes Scott Hall, God rest his soul, Kevin Nash and X-Pac going against Hulk Hogan. We have AJ Styles and Kurt Angle in the main event. We got Jeff Hardy coming from the WWE after he lost his loser leaves WWE cage match to that boy CM Punk. That boy CM Punk late.
Ew. Sorry, carry on.
That boy CM Punk laid out Jeff after he gave his speech. Then Jeff Hardy, comes after the Terradome match, that mousetrap contraption, if you will, like matchup that we had. Comes out, hits the chair shot, the homicide twist of fate on the apron. Jeff Hardy back on top. He's back in TNA Wrestling after his last stint in 2004, 2005. And we'll start with that homegrown girl over here. Jeff Hardy was modest to the top.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, sorry. I'll do the proper stuff. My bad. There you go.
So, Nicola, when he was modest to the top, what were your thoughts on Jeff Hardy coming back? But he did not come alone, as he brought his boy, Mr. Shannon Moore. What were your thoughts on Jeff Hardy coming in?
Well, yeah, I'm a Jeff Hardy fan, so I was kind of excited because everyone was kind of like, yes, he's left, so now he's coming here. And I don't know, back then he's obviously a lot different, but yeah, it was amazing to have him there. And every time he did come back or do whatever he did, I was always excited to see him back. No, like, whatever character he brought back, I was always excited, always. So it was good to see him back, and the fact that he's doing his normal crazy shit. So yeah,
Roberto,
that's cool.
You know, it's kind of cool that you kind of bring that up, because around this time I wasn't as involved in wrestling as I am now. You know, I was kind of peeking my head in and out here, and you know, when I would peek my head back in, you know, I'd always like, oh, where's so and so? Where, you know, I wonder what they're doing now. And you know, one of the ones I was always curious about was Jeff Hardy. So, you know, I'd go find that dude. And when I found him, you know, it was good to see him still doing his thing. You know, and we still got all these different characters, and, you know, we've got I guess what's the word I'm looking for, more versions of Jeff, and you know, what he's actually capable of. And you know, it was just really cool to see that as a longtime fan. You know, damn close to what, 30 years now that Jeff's been doing this. You know, to see all those versions of him, it's been awesome.
I think the word you're looking for is the reincarnations.
Yes.
Yes. Like I said, one of his versions is always going to be the favorite. Well, two, himself and yeah, the other one.
But mind you, folks, if we are talking about Jeff Hardy during this timeline, he was not dancing to the ring and just letting his brother get the crap kicked out of him. That did not happen yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So what was also very interesting about this time is, so Hulk Hogan brought in a lot of talent from the Australian tour, and one of the talents that came in, and we'll start it off hot with this one, Mr. Anderson. Wait for it. Anderson. He debuts at Genesis 2010 against Abyss. He had just gotten fired from the WWE. Back suplex to Randy Orton. Randy Orton gets mollywop dropped on his head, swipes up and takes a swing at him. He was not happy with that spot, so you can thank Randy Orton at the time for why Ken Kennedy got fired. And Ken Anderson comes to TNA. And what were your thoughts on seeing Mr. Anderson in TNA now? And boy, what a debut he had. And Roberto, I'll start with you on this one, because I know you are a big Mr. Kennedy fan. Kennedy, now Mr. Anderson. Anderson with the mic. You turn up the treble till it gets real loud. You feel so much better that way. Roberto Davis, go ahead.
You know, my first initial thought was like, that's not your last name. What the hell? But, you know, like you had mentioned, you know, I was a fan. But it was the name that kind of shook me, threw me for a loop for a bit. But it was good to see him. It was good to see him still going, I guess. You know, I know once you have those kind of accidents, you know, you drop those top guys on their heads, it usually spells out pretty bad. And for him, I guess it didn't. So, you know, that was always good.
Nicola, your thoughts on seeing Mr. Anderson with his microphone coming down, baby?
So I also am a big fan of his. And when they did, this is a different time period, but when he came to the UK, because he was still in TNA, I think when I saw it the first time, yeah, the microphone thing dropping and all of that, the whole intro for him, for me, just made me, the music, I can't believe I'm going to say this, I had his intro music on my phone. Still to this day, every phone I've had since then, I've had it. as a bishop, I'm not going to name. I've got loads of them. It's not just to them, but yeah, I was ecstatic. I really like Mr. Anderson. The only thing is, what happened to him? Where is he now?
He's a trainer, has his own wrestling school with Sean Davari, who was Sheik Abdul Bashir and
Mhm.
TNA, and who's now a producer for the WWE. He's still around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, but yeah, no, I thought he was pretty cool. He's a really good fighter, and he just, I don't know, I think he had a few really good storylines in the end
And the gimmick's
as
always fun
well.
too.
Well,
Yeah, his gimmick was always fun, especially
Yeah.
when he tried. I don't remember what he did. Didn't he turn in when he like a member of the Ace of Eights or something, and then turned on them or some shit?
Oh man. Okay, we're gonna
Yes,
go here.
thought so.
You brought this up, so we're gonna go here. So if you can't beat him, join him. We'll fast forward to 2013 here, folks, before we get back here, because Nikla brought it up, and we're gonna mention the UK again. So,
Oh no,
Mr. Anderson.
I've already told this story, so I'm off the hook on far as that one goes.
So Mr. Anderson joins the Aces and Eights because if you can't beat him, join him. He was easily persuaded, if you will, to having some beer and some women, and well, that'll do it for most of us men there. And he joined the Aces and Eights. I got to ride a bicycle, and I'm running a motorbike. Sons of Anarchy. And he joined the Aces and Eights. And then he went to the UK. And then he went to the Aces and Eights with Bully Ray and Devon and all them. They were in the UK. Nikla gave him the finger, and the rest.
I did, and he was in it at the time, so yeah, I did. Apologies, I've grown up since then, but sorry, but no, not sorry at the time.
check the bin for James Storm.
Yep.
Fuck. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he was in it at the time, but I think because it was so dark, and again, I had been drinking, I admit to this, I don't now, but a long time ago, yeah. And yeah, I wasn't as drunk as I thought, but I do remember doing all this because I told Mike about it the day after, going, "What the fuck?" So Mike actually does know drunk me, kinda. Not anyway, yeah, I was in control then, but whatever.
We're gonna put this out here. I'm gonna make a pop culture reference, and I think you'll enjoy this reference. So pretty much what Nicola's saying here, folks, is she wasn't as drunk, but she was like Jaquan. Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, he was in the Ace and Eights, and I did swear at all of them. So yeah.
And you know who you especially swear at? Because it's funny that we're talking about this.
No,
I'm not talking about Bully Ray. I'm not talking about Bully Ray. 11 years ago was the official debut of Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff into the Aces.
Yeah.
See?
Wow.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to say this. I did like Wes to start with. Like, he was obviously, no one knew his Ace and Eights, and him with Kurt Angle, I thought was a really good team. Like, it was like he was his,
like the protege, and his mentor.
Pretty much. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, fuck you, I'm with these assholes. So it was like, okay. And yeah, no, but I didn't like him after that. I was like, nah. He's another one on the hit list. Fuck off. But I won't burn him. He's not up in the burning section. So we're all good. Oh, wait, we weren't meant to mention fire today. Sorry. Almost 3 o'clock in the morning. So
3 a.m. I must be lonely. Matchbox 20. Go back to 2010. So another person from the Australia tour came in, and well, he was styling and profiling and hitting himself. Woo! Want to see my dick? Came to TNA, and his name is Ric Flair. So he had retired after losing to Shawn Michaels. He had come back in 2009 with the Legends when Chris Jericho took on Ricky Steamboat, Jimmy Snuka, and Rowdy Roddy Piper, and then got his ass knocked out by Mickey Rourke. And then the Nature Boy wrestled Hulk Hogan on the Australia tour, brother. And then he came to TNA, and he went with that boy AJ Styles, and AJ Styles dyed his hair blonde. He became the protege of Ric Flair. He turned heel, and he's wearing Ric Flair robes, and he's wooing, and he's chewing, and he's blueing, and oh god! Now we'll start with Roberto on this, because if there's anybody who's a fan of the limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun, I'm gonna do a handstand, I'm gonna get drunk. This watch costs more than your house. These shoes cost more than your house. Oh my goodness gracious! Longest line, longest ride, baby. Did it?
Oldest ride, longest line.
Thank
Woo!
you. Woo!
Woo!
Ric Flair, Robert.
You know, after that WrestleMania match with Shawn Michaels, I mean, what really better way was there to end a career? I mean that was perfect. To see him kind of come back, at first it was just kind of like, what the fuck? But then after a while, it's just like, okay, I guess he can still go. Whatever. Let's see what happens. And we saw what happened. So
my thing too is, and I'm just going to say this: the best time that he had from 2010 was the feud with Jay Lethal, the woo off, woo 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 woo, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? And then
the fact that was totally unscripted,
yep,
is fucking wild.
They killed it, man. And then he's talking about his mama, and he's like, "I don't give a crap about your mom. I'm God." Ric Flair. He did that a lot. That was the epitome of his catchphrase in TNA. Was calling himself God and making women cry. And what was it? The oldest line. What is it? Okay. What is it? What is it, Robert? It's the oldest what?
Oldest ride, longest line.
Thank you. I know about Space Mountain, but now
Space
I always
Mountain.
Yes, thank you. And first of all, Rick, it is 2024. You and Sting are not going with the girls at the hotel, ages 18 and up. You stop that, sir. You dirty son of a gun. What the fuck is wrong with you, Rick?
No. What the fuck is wrong with any of? Oh no, no comment, no comment. Zip
Rick,
zip. We'll get removed. So
for those who didn't see it, they cut it out of fucking Rampage because this crazy old bastard thinks it's 1989 again, and him and Stinger are doing the 45-minute draws at the Chi-Town fucking Rumble, and he goes, woo, 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 at the hotel, me and the Stinger, ages 18 and over. I'm like, you're 74 and friggin' Sting is 64. He's married.
The Sting is probably going, what the fuck, Rick? Come on.
no, Sting's sitting there going, how fucking high are you, mate? Seriously.
Well,
don't talk like that with my son. My son Darby's out here. Don't talk like that.
Oh my god,
oh my god.
Grandpa Sting. What was it, Grandpa Sting?
Oh man.
No.
I will say this about Flair in 2010 around this time. Do you think first of all, AJ Styles had built himself up with Foundation, the homegrown TNA talent at the time. Do y'all think that really kind of hurt him having Ric Flair as his manager? Because this man is wooing. He's okay. We'll start with you, Nicola, because you said yes. Because for me, I was not a fan.
Right. I wasn't a fan of this because when I first started watching TNA, AJ was himself, cool, badass, someone you really, really, really wanted to watch. And then he got with him at that was basically it. Downhill spiral. It didn't make him better. It made him. I mean, the part was he was supposed to act like, I have money and limos, girls, blah 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 blah, all that whole shit.
But it was the fortune thing because it was him, Robert Roode, James Storm, Frankie Kazarian,
Yeah,
Desmond Wolfe was in there a little bit. Yeah,
I know, but it just with AJ, no, it just didn't work. It was like, what the fuck are you doing, old man? Get backstage and let him do his fucking thing. You had your time. Later.
It definitely seemed it seemed forced. Like
yeah.
this
and
isn't
also,
this isn't you, freaking right. Uncle Alan. What knock it off. Be phenomenal.
He didn't look happy with it either. So like you could tell by his facial features. Like he was like, I am fucking uncomfortable. No, but he obviously did it, whatever, but it didn't suit him. And then when he came back as himself, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm watching you again. I like you.
Thank God.
Thank God.
That's what it felt like.
I absolutely adore AJ Styles. Just putting that out there.
Me too. I think around this time period too, you also had, man, Hogan was bringing in his people from the Australia tour because not only did we get Ric Flair, we got someone who we hadn't seen on WWE television and in professional wrestling since 2005. I mean, he wrestled the Ultimate Warrior, God rest his soul, in his last match for New Wrestling Evolution in Italy. A man by the name of Orlando Jordan came in. He had the ozone. He's bisexual, just in case anybody didn't know, and he wore caution tape. And, well, he wanted Rob Terry in that Legends Championship, and he sprayed the lotion on his skin or else he gets the hose again, and he looked like he was jizzing. And, well, I don't know if you know this or not, but did you know that Orlando Jordan is bisexual? So, Nicola, we'll start with you on this one because Orlando Jordan comes in. He's into Rob Terry. He wants to get all up in that and show his feelings. What were your thoughts on Orlando Jordan and his provocateurness?
Do you know what? I forgot about Rob Terry until you said it. I have not remembered that name, even though I know, obviously, clearly I know who he is, but it was like, it's a long time since I've heard his name. What the fuck?
Orlando
was my answer to that, which
Yeah, that was kind of
was,
my reaction too.
I mean, the whole bisexual thing, good for you, dude.
yeah.
You do you, whatever. But
It,
what the fuck?
I think
Why?
I think at the time it was like it was weird to see that on TV. It was just like,
Of course it was,
yo,
because a lot of people back then were obviously, you know, the whole bullshit. We ain't going into that, but you know what I'm going on about.
yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah,
But it didn't matter what, you know, like now these days, doesn't matter what sexuality is. You can be who you are. Fuck it, roll with it. Fuck
yeah,
what everyone else thinks, kind of
absolutely.
thing. And but yeah, I did think it was weird. And the dancing, what the fuck? Yeah, that's all I got to say. It's just what the fuck moments the whole time I saw
No,
what's sat there watching it. I was
I,
like,
I feel you
what?
because he was
What
doing
are
the
you doing?
and then he put it with Eric Young, and then Eric Young was like, "Oh,
Oh,
we're a
poor
tag team,
Eric Young.
we're a tag team, and they're buddies." And he's like, he doesn't mean like tag team like that. And they made some sexual innuendo jokes. And Robert, I'll compare this to you because you being the 30-year-old fan that you are and watching professional wrestling, I'm going to name two names for you: adorable Adrian Adonis, exotic Adrian Street. That's what we were doing up in here.
Yeah, that's what we were doing.
Mm.
Ugh.
And I mean, and even back then, those that was controversial.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even
Gold Dust.
in yeah, very
Gold
controversial.
Oh,
But yeah, Orlando Jordan, folks.
Controversy.
Orlando Jordan coming in. Another name from the Australia tour that came in. Oh God, and it's one of Hogan's boys, and I hated it. And Robert Davis, I know you know about tag team wrestling and all that good stuff, but man, this was like 15 years too late. They brought in friggin' Sags and Knobs, goddamn nasty boys, and Brian Knobs is
nasty boys.
and Brian Knobs is
Fuck.
cutting this fucking promo, and he's like, the Nasties,
Yeah.
and he looks like he's about to have a fucking heart attack. And I'm like, why are we doing this? Because it's a dream tag team match, and we got the Dudley Boys against the Nasty Boys in a feud, and then Jimmy Hart came out. And so he brings in the Nasties. Thankfully, we did not get Brother Brutus the Barber Beefcake, the Booty Man, whatever name you want to call him. The Booty Man, the Zodiac, whatever you want to call him.
Jesus.
Robert, I'll start with you on this because you are the old school head over here with the Nasty Boys. And I got to ask you a question, Robert Davis. As a young man, have you ever taken anybody for a pit stop? Put the head right under the armpits, man, give him the old pit stop. You ever done that, Robert?
My little brother.
You did? Okay.
A couple of times.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he definitely got it.
The old pit stop, yeah.
Especially after like a baseball practice or something when we're not as fresh as we should be.
Not so fresh, so clean is what you're saying.
Yeah. Little
I can't say nothing. I can, but I'm not gonna.
We're gonna get thrown off YouTube. No, just kidding. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh shit. Maybe we should not let me come on the show no more.
For those that don't know, the Nasty Boys, their signature maneuver was the pit stop, but they would put their opponent's head under their armpit. It was called the pit stop.
You know what? Watching them like back in the day with like Legion of Doom and the Rockers and things like that. Watching them, like, you know, everybody had these, you know, Legion of, you know, Road Warriors had the Doomsday device. You know, everybody had such cool finishing moves, and not these guys. You just under the armpit. I was just like, damn, these guys really are nasty.
You know what they should have called it though? Not the pit stop. You know what I think would have been a better name for it? Scratch and sniff.
That's even worse.
So the Nasty Boys come in. Brian Knobs looks like he wants to have a heart attack. They feud with Team 3D because of Dream Match. Robert, your thoughts on the Nasty Boys and Team 3D?
I think, like you said, it was 15 years too late.
Yep.
Had that been maybe in the early 2000s, late 90s, that might have been cool.
Yeah, Nicola, Nasty Boys come in. Nasty Boys with their pits. What were your thoughts on them in Team 3D?
Right, I know I said something when Rob was talking, and I shouldn't have said, but I will. I have two younger brothers. Yes, okay. I'm female, but I'm tomboyish. That's a given. But yeah, let's just say that I did that to them, and they did it to me, and I had wrestling moves done to me by both my brothers, and this is why I love wrestling. Because I beat them constantly. So yeah. But I did do it. But yeah, and the Nasty Boys, I thought they were funny. It was too many years too late, but for me it was more comedic than anything else. They just made me laugh the minute they started talking. And also the dude who was having a heart attack, I actually thought he did.
He was so out of shape. Brian
Yeah.
was so out of shape. It was not even funny.
I mean, he wasn't in the best shape in the mid 90s
No.
anyway. So.
Bro, when he was in WCW in the later years, when he was the WCW Hardcore Champion, holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh. Now, another.
I'm scared to say anything else. I'm scared to say anything else because he just said we might get removed from YouTube.
Oh,
So now
we're
I'm
going to
like,
say
shit.
something else here because we went a little bit more.
No.
Speaking of community guidelines, we had Val Venus, Sean Morley just come in out of WWE at his exit, figuring your feature presentation, Sean Morley. His theme song was the exact same theme song as Junior Fatu when Rikishi was there for Blip on the Radar in TNA in 2007. Friggin' Sean Morley's trying to do a gimmick from 1998, the Attitude Era, and I'm going to say this word, and I'm going to laugh when I say it, but I'm going to try not to. This fucker goes against Christopher Daniels on Genesis 2010, and he beats him, and I fucking hated it because Christopher Daniels should not be losing to fucking Val Venus in 2010, but they did it. This is where I'd put a trophy if I had one, Fairly Odd Parents. So the fact of the matter is we got Val Venus.
Sorry.
Very godparents.
Really Godparents. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Almost thought we loved that fucking show. Yes.
So we had Sean Morley against Christopher Daniels, and he's your feature presentation, Sean Morley. One of his only other highlights in TNA was when they put the bounty on Jeff Jarrett when he was doing normal jobs and Hulk Hogan punished him. And I'm going to say this right now, folks. Yes, this did happen. Sean Morley pinned Jeff Jarrett in the bathroom. There was a pinfall in the bathroom.
Pinfall in the bathroom.
Pinfall in the bathroom.
Hell yeah.
So,
I don't want to know what happens in them bathrooms before they do that. Just saying.
oh my lord. But yeah, Sean Val Venus came in, and on the debut edition of Impact January 4, 2010 on Monday nights, you know what he did? He played strip poker with the beautiful people. He played strip poker with the beautiful people.
I remember watching that. What the fuck? Actually, that wasn't unusual for that time era, though. So it weren't nothing like different or unusual. It's like, all right, that's going on. Okay.
That happened. That definitely happened.
Val was another one who came off the Hulkamania tour in Australia, brother. And Robert Davis, I'll start with you because you know Val Venus. We're talking Attitude Era. We talk about Choppy your PP with Yamaguchi-san. And just everything that went into his All right, hold on. We got to explain it because Nicola. So, Nicola, there was a Val Venus was in the WWF, and he was feuding with Yamaguchi-san and Kaientai. And Yamaguchi-san said, Choppy, your PP. And it was supposed to be like at the time because John Wayne Bobbitt got his thing. You know, there's more to life.
Ding.
Yes, there's more to life than a penis. 9 hours to get it reattached.
Reattached.
It happens.
Wait,
So
carry on.
Choppy PP happened, and Val Venus was a part of the Right to Censor with Steven Richards and The Good Father and Bull Buchanan. Yeah, and then he was at WWE mostly as an enhancement, not enhancement talent, but like a jobber to the stars. He would work with the older guys and put them over and work with younger guys. And he comes to TNA. He's your feature presentation. What were your thoughts on Sean Worley's brief run and his feud with Christopher Daniels?
It was
Oh,
weird.
sorry, which one was you talking to?
I'll start with
I don't know. We can all chime in on this because it was just a random. It's like what
the fuck?
I mean, because we knew Val Venus. You know, hello,
ladies.
Oh yeah, cringy dude. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't care how smooth your voice is. That was eerie crap. That was like a hello.
Ladies, the Big Valboski. This comes to your town. He'll be all over Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes.
But Christopher Daniels should never have fucking lost.
No.
Never in a million fucking years. No. Whoever wrote that storyline needs a kick in the fucking dick. I mean, sorry, kick in the dick. There we go. Without the effing part.
Right in the ding ding. Right in the ding ding. Sackaroonie is what that is. The Sackaroonie.
The Sackaroonie.
Sackaroonie.
That's a new one. We're going to be using that from now on.
So besides dick kicking and low blows and testicular claws, we also at this particular time period on this show with Genesis, big announcement. The six-sided ring as we know it is no more. Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff, they pissed everybody off. They might as well pissed in their doggone cornflakes. They told everybody that, hey, man, six-sided ring is dead. We're going back to four sides. And everybody on that pay-per-view chanted, we want six sides. We want six sides.
We want six sides.
And it was unique. It was different. AAA did it, and now that was TNA's identity. But then they brought it back to four sides. Nicola, we'll start with you on this one. What were your thoughts?
I like the idea of it, six sides, because they'd had the same for a long time. And it was same. I mean, it did weird me out the first time I watched it and was like, wait, what? What's like? It threw me totally, but I thought it was good. Then didn't they switch it back to the full sides again?
It was that one where they announced it back before. Yep.
That was it, because they said about the six-sided. Obviously, I think maybe there was maybe there was too much room or something, and the four sides there's not, if you know what I mean. So I think it's the width and all that stuff. So yeah, maybe that. I didn't mind it, but I prefer the four side.
Okay. Roberto, what were your thoughts on going from six side, losing the identity that was TNA, to back to the traditional four sides?
You know, when I first saw the six-sided ring, I was just kind of like, what the hell?
What the fuck?
Because definitely what the fuck. It was different. You know, it just really seemed like they took the cage off of a UFC ring and put ropes on it. So it was just like it had that what the fuck factor, but at the same time it was also intriguing. You know, it made, at least in my mind, it made for some really cool spots to happen, you know. But when they went back to four, it was just like, okay, I guess. But you know, like you said, this six-sided ring was the identity of TNA for a while. Now they kind of took that away, and you know, it took something away that was unique to just TNA. And you know, AAA was doing it, but you know, this was like what TNA was known for.
I mean, with the addition of Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, and I'm going to say this right now, Roberto, if you'd like to do this with me, you can. I'm not going to stand up, but we might do a little bit of singing here. Hulk Hogan, when he came out, his theme song was yeah, Nicola, hit me with it.
Yeah, I remember. And he stood there doing this shit at everybody, and it was like, or that, or this shit. I don't fucking know, the dab, whatever you want to call it these days, but it weren't called that then. It was called Hulk looking like a moron. I mean, sorry, no, he did not mean that.
Speaking
you know
of
what? Someone's going to come after me, you know that. One of them are. Fuck it, bring it on.
So
I don't care.
Well, if you just hear you just watch out. CM Punk is around.
He's coming.
You hear Cult of Personality just start kicking air.
This fire burns always, goddammit.
If I start hearing that music, he better be getting out of my way.
Fuck you and your Pepsi, sir. Diet Coke, bitch.
Because I'm going to start kicking like this. And if you get hit, it's your own fault.
I'm going to motion my foot. Motion my foot.
Oh, that's even funnier than you know.
We like to kick people in the dicks. You remember back in the day, folks, when you had the knockout game and some douchebags would just knock out people? Well, this is just a kick in the dick game. Just run up to friggin' people and start kicking them in the dick or the hoo-ha. Hoo-has and dick kicks. That's the name of this episode.
No, that's not what we call a hoo-ha. We call it a cooter. What are you on about?
Nicola's mom, if you're watching, sorry.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry, mum. Actually, whatever. No. You are barred from watching this episode in particular.
I will rebel against the authority.
If you've watched this far, stop now.
Stop it.
Yeah, just go to bed, mum. Seriously, you know, no. She'll forget about it in the morning. Her memory's not as good as it used to be. So she actually will have a go at me and then forget and then have a go again. And I just look at her and go, oh, I love you, mum, but no.
All she needs to know is that Vanga bus is coming, goddammit. So anyway,
for fuck's sake.
So anyway.
I know that song.
Oh, speaking of music, we have more music to come in this episode. So next up we have Abyss. Abyss, and damn it, the Hulk Hogan gave him the power of the Hall of Fame ring brother. And well, Abyss's music went from the Abyss music that we love oh so much, especially when he was with the Shay. But then he gets the is American made, the WCW Hulk Hogan theme song. Robert Davis, he's American made. And he became a Abyssomaniac brother, and he was with Hulk Hogan. Oh, God. Now, I'm going to start with you, Roberto, on this, because you're a Hulkamaniac, and you say your prayers, take vitamins. What were your thoughts on Hulk Hogan and Abyss?
Oh, that was a weird one. I was just kind of like, what are you doing?
He's a Hulkamaniac. You're the power of the Hall of Fame ring.
The Abyssomaniacs.
Maniacs.
They were running wild.
Running wild. Black hole
What are
slams.
you doing? What are you doing to our demonic dude? Seriously, give him a key. He's gonna worship it, and then you do that. Fuck no. No.
That was
He's
just
lucky he didn't get smashed by Janice.
That was just as bad as AJ Flair Styles.
Yeah.
Styles.
Worse.
No, that was worse.
He's messing with our monster. No.
Yeah. They made Abyss an Abyssomaniac, brother. And all right, we're gonna talk about this name. And the third most successful disc jockey, the third most successful Sirius XM radio host, Bubba the Love Douche. I mean Bubba the Love Sponge comes in. And well, before he was filming Hulk Hogan having his sex with his wife, and Hulk Hogan feeling like a big brother, they were the best of friends. They were bosom buddies, brother. And Bubba the Love Douche comes in, and he's the new interviewer. He replaces Jeremy Borash, who, when you think of fucking TNA, you think of Jeremy Borash, and you bring in this wipe, this friggin' tub of goo in.
Legend,
and then this tub of goo.
Jeremy Borash, and then this tosser comes in.
Yeah. And then friggin' the best part about his whole run was Mick Foley friggin' punched him in the face and gave him a black eye, and Mick Foley became my hero forever, as if he wasn't already, because
Thank you, Mick Foley.
He knocked the fuck out of Bubba the Love Sponge, and he was the manager of the band, which was Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Eric Young, and Robert Davis. I don't know if you know this or not, but there was a little group back in the day in WCW called the Wolfpack.
I didn't even know this.
Robert,
what?
Give me the theme. Come on, Robert. He's just going to sweep me. There you go. Okay, he's not going to do the... I'll take it. So the band was pretty much TNA's version of the Wolfpack from WCW, and it was terrible. So yeah, we had the band, which was Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Eric Young up in the mix, and managed by Bubba the Love Sponge for a brief time. So my initial thoughts were they bring in Bubba the Love Sponge because he's buddies with Hulk Hogan. But what also leads to after this, guys, was a certain someone by the name of Awesome Kong, who also just had a killer run as the Knockouts tag champ with Hamada. For those that remember Japanese wrestling talent Hamada, they were a great tag team.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Legendary.
And then freaking Bubba the Love Douche goes on Twitter, which I'm still calling it Twitter, and he writes, "Fuck Haiti."
Thank you.
Because if you remember at the time, you're welcome, there was an earthquake in Haiti. It damaged the country. People lost houses and a lot of stuff. And this mofo writes on Twitter, "Fuck Haiti." And Awesome Kong is like, how about you fucking don't say that? You're a fucking douchebag. And then she absolutely mollywopped and beat the shit out of Bubba the Love Sponge, which then would lead to her exit from TNA the first time over here. And yeah. So before Rebby Sky, Bubba the Love Douche got these hands. So I want to get your thoughts first, Robert Davis, about the Awesome Kong Bubba the Love Sponge incident and the fact that Hulk Hogan brought his bosom buddy from radio to TNA.
At the time, a lot of my friends really liked Bubba, and
they were part of the Bubba Army, brother. They were part of the Bubba Army,
and I didn't get it. I mean, even to this day, I still don't get it. I'm just like, this guy's horrible. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? What the fuck is wrong with bringing him into this wrestling company? Like, yeah, I'm glad Awesome Kong did what she did. I hope she does it again.
Yeah. Nicola, your thoughts on Awesome Kong putting a whooping on that boy?
Oh, that was interesting and fun to watch because it was fun watching her just annihilate him. And he deserved it, so it was amazing. I'm a Kong fan if you can't already tell, but yeah. She's legendary.
I thought you just didn't like douchey people.
Well, that's
clearly right on that one.
That's Rebby Sky.
Right.
Oh, Lord. Well, first of all, Awesome Kong has always been known to be a real one. She don't take no shit. So
she keeps it real, 100%, and she knows which douchebags to slap round the face or beat the crap out of, which is why I like her so much. Yeah. You know exactly who that's directed at.
Oh, I know. Oh, we know, and we're watching out for him. We're watching out. So, so we go from Bubba the Love Douche getting released. And now here's the thing. Not only was he beefing with Awesome Kong at the time, so a certain someone by Jim Cornette who wanted to fucking kill Vince Russo if I had fucking dream about him and I want to fucking kill him. I want to fucking kill him. I swear to fucking God. He said that to Terry Taylor, and he got himself released for that and everything that happened there, threatening to kill Vince Russo and his dreams. And what happened after that was Bubba the Love Douche commented back to Jim Cornette, and he's like, well, Bubba the Love Sponge does not sound like Jim Cornette. He sounds kind of more like, well, you know, this guy always gets fired from every company. And Jim Cornette was like, you stupid blubber motherfucker, you tub of fucking goo, you gelatinous waste of fucking space, like that goddamn Mark Madden, I bought you fucking Wendy's. He was pissed above the Love Sponge, so Jim Cornette does tie into the story here.
I think Jim Cornette ties into a lot of stories.
That he does. But there's
It's
never not
dodgy
going to be an
voice,
episode. There's never not going to be an episode where we're going to do the Jim Cornette impression because y'all are stupid motherfuckers. So yeah,
I've heard you do that impersonation before.
Yeah.
Wow.
fucking Cornette, man, got involved with Bubba the Love Sponge. So that was his exit from TNA. Very brief exit, but we did also see the rise of a lot of great talents. We saw Matt Morgan and Hernandez against the British Invasion in the tag team scene. We saw Brian Kendrick, which, Brian Kendrick came in. He's a great wrestler, but a lot of he shouldn't have said.
Yeah, so you shouldn't say a lot of things
that he says.
Hang on, who we're talking about?
Brian
Kendrick. Brian Kendrick.
Oh, okay. I was still stuck on Matt Morgan. That's another name I've not heard for years.
I was still stuck on the Jim Cornette impression. Sounds like sounds like Mickey Mouse getting kicked in the dick.
Don't you mean Mickey Mouse on Prozac?
This is literally South Park. You stupid motherfuckers! You're gonna do what the fuck I say? Ha ha! Thought we got a little problem here. Ha! So yes.
Holy crap!
There it is.
It's Mickey Mouse kicking the shit out of the Jonas Brothers on South Park. So
I know I've seen that episode.
We're sorry, Mr. Rams. We're sorry, Mr. Rams.
Fucking weirdos. Anyway.
With their purity rings. Okay. Anyway, Jonas Brothers is
another show.
That's another show. Jonas Brothers aside. We had Matt Morgan doing his thing. We mentioned Shannon Moore in a tag team with Inc. with Mr. Jesse Neal. There was a lot of great
Yes. Wow.
Great thriving tag teams at the time.
Yeah.
But I think one that really sticks out that also was brought in around this time was somebody by the name of Pope. The Pope D'Angelo De Niro came in, Pope Daddy. Now, he had his fair shot in WWE as Elijah Burke. Had a great theme song, Don't Waste My Time. He was on ECW. He was in WWE. What were your initial thoughts on seeing the Pope come into TNA? Got that title shot against AJ Styles at Lockdown. Nicola, let's start with you on this one, man. The Pope D'Angelo De Niro coming in, Pope Daddy.
I do love the Pope Daddy. I when he first came in, it for me, I was like, ooh. I like how he would talk. He was good on the mic. No matter what he said, he was like someone you'd go, holy crap. Yeah, don't fuck with him. I don't remember who won out of him and AJ Styles, though. You may have to remind me on
AJ won. AJ won. He stabbed him in the head with a pen.
Stabbed him in the head with a pen, didn't
he? Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow, pens are useful. Didn't know that. Well, I did know that, but wow. I liked the Pope. I liked everything about him. He was interesting, fun. What's the right? I can't say it.
Which one?
No. He was charismatic.
Charismatic.
Right? Yeah. There we go. Check out my words.
It's Demon Hour, so the words they get confused in there.
Dark. Yeah, they do get confused, but hopefully not darker. Even though I can't control what's going to happen now, but whatever. Sorry. Nicola is still here, though. Yeah.
Yeah. The Pope. Kind of like what Nicola said, he was really good on the mic. You were always kind of enamored with what he was saying when he was saying it. I liked what he did in WWE, WWF, ECW, TNA as well. I thought he was definitely an unsung hero at times, but it was cool.
One of my favorites is when he was feuding with Suicide and he called him Suicide. Instead of Suicide, he called him Suicide. Suicide. But that's
another one. Suicide. You mentioned all these wrestlers, and I'm like, holy crap, I forgot about it.
Based off the TNA video game, the game character came to life. I
played that.
Me too.
I can't believe I'm admitting that.
Robert, did you ever play the TNA video game?
I actually didn't. I actually did not.
Okay. I will say this. Hell of a storyline. You're in Mexico. the whole 9, man. You get kidnapped, you forget your memory. Oh, if anybody's never played the career mode, play it. It's good. It's good.
It is good. And I'm not even a gamer.
Kidnapped in Mexico? Was there tortillas?
Yes.
Was there burritos?
Jeff Jarrett was there. He was the antagonist. The Amigos.
For the Amigos.
Why did they not leave him there? Karen
is not a puta.
She's not. She's not a puta. But I'm gonna tell you some people who are a bunch of putas, and we get we got the beautiful people acting like a bunch of putas, because around this time, Angelina Love couldn't get to the country, brother. Canada, hello. What's that all about?
Yeah.
And well, a certain leader.
Sorry.
Maple syrup. The fact of the matter is she's stuck in Canada, goddammit. So we had a new leader of the beautiful people, and she was terrible, but she looked good, and it was none other than Lacey Von Erich. And well, yeah, that happened. And I mean, you're the daughter. You're the daughter of Carrie Von Erich, one of the legendary families ever, the Von Erich family. And she sucked. She was terrible, and god damn it, I gotta say, Sizzucked made me want to up Chizzuck. So we'll start with you here, Nicola McDonald, Lacey Von Erich, the beautiful people, acting like a bunch of hoes and sluts and bitches. And no, I'm not calling them that because that was the only words that came out of their mouth. I felt like I was watching an episode of the Jersey Shore. So Nicola McDonald, what were your thoughts on Lacey Von Erich taking over that leadership spot of the beautiful people?
I can't beat that. You just said the Jersey Shore. That was the best fucking way to compare it. To be fair,
yeah, I mean, really, what else can you say?
You can't. Like, all right, I will admit, as me not being someone who's obviously into makeup and beautiful shit. I thought they were cool in that sense. The fact that they obviously thought they were badasses, but no, they just sucked then. But it was a gimmick, weren't it? That's what they had to do, even though in probably reality. I mean,
Mean Girls gimmick, yeah.
Exactly, and obviously everyone saw Mean Girls, and most people were like, "Woohoo!" And there's this dickhead over here going, "Oh right, yeah, that's what we do. That's what they do. Okay, yeah, fuck off. No, give me a fucking skateboard. See you later."
Man, for me, this also, and God rest her soul, because I know we all love her. Daphne
was definitely legend.
The problem I had is they do the stupid lockbox gimmick, and one of them had to dress and get, strip and stuff, and the one that got it was her, and she looked so uncomfortable, like out there. Somebody ribbed her and did that on purpose just to make her uncomfortable, and I'm looking at you, Vince Russo.
Yeah, bro.
Swag.
So yeah, that pissed me off. But Daphne, besides that, was such a treasure at this time. The Taylor Wilde feud, the Monsters Ball. It was a shame because I remember at this time, she wrestled Rosie Lotta Love and she was out for a little bit because she got injured off that powerbomb. Oh my lord!
I do remember that.
What was it? I know a lot of people when the K first come out, they were comparing Daphne to Rosemary, and it was like they're two different individuals. They're very unique in their own way. So that used to annoy me a bit because it's like, well, Daphne was Daphne, Rosemary's Rosemary.
Exactly. I thought the same thing. It's just like, why are you comparing them? Daphne's Daphne, Rosemary's Rosemary.
Rosemary.
Let them be.
Knock
it off.
Yeah, stop. Because obviously, at the end of the day, we all love Rosemary. We all love Daphne. And Daphne was another one of my favorite wrestlers as well. Obviously, because she was a very dark and legendary person.
Yeah.
And she went well too. So, like most of them do.
Yeah, and I think also around this time, one other thing that stands out for me is Kurt Angle and Mr. Anderson, that feud where he spit on the dog tags and the medals, and then they had that infamous cage match where that crazy son of a bitch, Kurt Angle, did that freaking moonsault off the top of the cage, and he kind of overshot it a little.
I remember that. Remember that. That was fucking crazy.
Right, and Kurt can do no wrong because this was Kurt, like, in his element, like 2010 Kurt, like he was just in it, killing it.
Was this before he broke his neck or after?
No, I think this is after he broke his neck. Yeah, because after he broke his neck. Yeah,
he was a crazy fucker. He broke his neck, and then fuck it, Then again, that's why I respect him, I suppose, because I'm just like, yeah, all right, I'm gonna do this.
I mean, mind you, there were painkillers and everything that went into that, but you gotta give him credit for doing what he did with his body,
Yeah, I mean, we could probably do a whole episode just on Kurt Angle.
Yep.
but damn, like, what can you say about Kurt Angle? Like, that man, when he gave everything.
I
He
mean,
really did.
we mentioned it earlier. Nicola's favorite match of Kurt's in TNA was when he put over
Mm.
Wes Briscoe at Lockdown 2013. I mean, that's one of your favorites. I know, Nicola. Right?
Yes. No. No. But no, as Kurt Angle,
Yes.
nothing but love and respect for that dude.
Yeah.
He's had to deal with a lot of shit, and I mean, who breaks their neck and then decides I'm going to jump off the top of a fucking cage? That and bruise himself. I mean, all wrestlers do it, not just Kurt, all of them. They all
He
hurt themselves constant.
he,
And
he,
we
he,
all,
he probably thinks Karen is a puta too.
He probably does. He probably really does.
Yeah, he probably does. The first one, probably a good getaway for him, to be fair. But whatever,
There will never be a time where Karen will not be a puta. She's always going to and forever will be a puta. She just is. She just is. If you know, you know. That's all you need to know. If you know, you know. That's all you need to know.
Just avoid her high heels because you don't want to get slapped by them. I actually used to laugh and hope they'd break when she was stampeding down to the ring. I'd be like,
break your heels, bitch. Break your fucking heels. Trip.
I'd be like, no, I was hoping there was like a hole in the floor and she'd get stuck and then she'd fly off and he'd be like, yeah, fuck you.
Hole in the floor. Fucking trap door. Boom.
Oh, even better. Even better. I like that one too.
Oh, man. Speaking of knockouts, we also at this time had ODB. Bam! That's a knockout champion. She was
Love the ODB.
Same here, man. Her and Tara had some great matches, but
ODB, they did.
They brought her into her element, really solidifying her as one of the top knockouts here. And I'm going to ask you, Robert Davis, first. Bam! What were your thoughts on ODB?
I remember first seeing ODB, and I was just kind of speechless, kind of like how I am now, just because she was just so over the top with everything. She was a character, and oddly enough, it might not be a character. That just might be who she really is. I just remember at the time just being so enamored with what she was doing and just the outlandish character that she had. It's just awesome.
Nicola, bam! What were your thoughts on ODB?
Bam. Loved her straight away. She was another one of my. I've said this before. I've always been a fan of ODB. Whether that was her in character or her as reality, didn't matter to me. She was funny. Her moves were brilliant. She didn't give a fuck. She drank her beer, ate her chicken. You know what I mean? She was something different, unique. Because obviously you've got the beautiful people, then you got the psychos, and then you've got bam, ODB.
Yeah, I mean, if we're
legendary.
If we're going to hang out with somebody after the show, like we're probably going.
ODB, bam.
ODB, bam.
Oh yeah, and Eric Young. I'd hang out with him too, back then and now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But now, ODB was a big ledge for me, and my favourite move to this day is her titty slapping and butt slapping.
The Dirty Dozen.
The
Dirty Dozen.
Dirty Dozen.
Yes. I didn't know what it's called. I'm so sorry I said that in just proper UK British way, which was a...
You're good, Nicola. The Dirty Dozen. Slapping some tits, slapping some ass. Luthez press, man. Luthez is not even rolling over his grave. He can appreciate a good titty slapping ass.
Yeah. I mean...
Well, we've now got Tony Storm doing it now, so, Hey. But she does it with fucking magic, so,
Tony Storm.
Tony.
Legend.
Now, ODB, it's funny. Like, she mentioned in an interview not too long ago, like when she was in WWE developmental before coming to TNA, Vince did not like the gimmick. Triple H liked the gimmick. And he said that she should go somewhere else. She should go to TNA because TNA was offering her at the time because she was in OVW. He told her, look, the old man doesn't like the gimmick. I have no problem with it. He liked it, but he's like, the best thing for you to be was to go somewhere else. And well, Triple H was right. Triple H was right.
There's not too many times where he's wrong. So
no, it's just
that's interesting. I never knew that.
What do you mean you're calling yourself one dirty bitch? What the fuck does that mean?
I thought that'd be I'm not disrespecting ODB in that way.
How dirty are you?
How dirty are you? You want to play, pal? No. So
I hate that fucking man.
Me too.
I hope he rots in hell.
No, don't send him to us.
No, he's not coming to us. Actually, you know what? He can go in limbo and stay there.
Yeah.
Or he can go beyond us and, fuck off somewhere else. Nasty piece of shit.
There's not enough disinfectant in the world.
No, there's not.
All right, so we'll do this. Double birds. This is for you, Vince McMahon. Fuck you,
Vince McMahon can fuck right off.
He could fuck to the left, fuck to the right, spin around, go fuck yourself tonight. That's what Vince McMahon can do.
I hope that he gets what's coming to him, and I hope that he suffers the whole time, because that is one nasty man.
The demon has spoken.
Yeah, I have. Well, let's not ask me to talk in demon voice, because that goes so much worse.
Well,
it wouldn't be fires we'd be talking about either.
Well, speaking of suffering, we did have to suffer through a lot that did happen during that Monday Night Wars with what we did have with a lot of the women we mentioned, but we also mentioned a lot of tag teams, and we mentioned Kevin Nash and the band and Bubba the Love Sponge, but we also had to go through something that we had to suffer through because for me, he will always and forever be a babyface. They had Sting turn heel again, and I'm like, no, I don't want to see the Stinger as a heel. I mean, when he was with the Main Event Mafia, fine, but they turned him heel, and then here comes the debut of Rob Van Dam. The whole effing show. Rob Van Dam, the whole effing show, comes into TNA, makes his debut, beats Sting in a matter of seconds with the Rolling Thunder, and then Sting absolutely mollywops the shit over Rob Van Dam for about 10 minutes with the fucking baseball bat. Killed Rob Van Dam's momentum of coming into, hi, Rob, how you doing? Get the fuck out of here. So we had Rob Van Dam and Sting in a feud. Sting is a heel now. Nicola, we'll start with you. Sting is a heel, the debut of Rob Van Dam. Go ahead.
All right, I always liked Sting's heels, so I'm probably the odd one here.
Okay.
But I always thought it was cool. I know. I liked his Joker one. That's what they called it, wasn't it? Like when he was going insane with it. That, but I did like him turning. But then again, I've always preferred Grandpa Sting, as we call him now, but nice Sting. So I was always a fan of that side of it. But yeah, Sting is Sting. So,
good old Frosty the Sting man.
Yeah, with his grandson Darby.
Yeah.
I mean, what? You know what? I can't wait to see what happens when Sting leaves and it's Darby on his own. I want to see what that does. That's going to be interesting.
I hope they keep the snow for Darby. The snow was interesting.
It was.
I like the snow.
Yeah. Do you want to build a Sting man? Well,
let's build a Sting man.
We're quoting Frozen. We're doing a you, Mike. We took your bit there.
Frozen, let it go.
Let it go.
So
I wish a lot of people would do that.
Yeah, a lot of people do need to, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
It is. So Rob Van Dam.
That fucker don't need to let it go.
Yeah.
He's the only one that can't let it go.
Jesus. So Rob Van Dam, speaking of letting it go, he let go an ass whooping on Sting. So
he sure did. I thought he killed Rob. Man, that was something. Aside from the Joker Sting, I guess, I'm not a fan of Sting being a heel either. Like many other people my age, we grew up with the bleach blonde surfer Sting.
We did.
That's our Sting. Like
that is.
Some of my boys in the TSK have petitioned for him to go back to that blonde, and it's just like, nah, we're a little past that. Let's enjoy the Sting for a little while longer.
Said that? Do I need to slap him?
No,
don't say, because I'll end up slapping them anyway.
You can if you want.
All right, hold on. I got to bring this point up. Probably one of the best imitations of the blonde surfer Sting, when Mr. Anderson was feuding with him and he dressed like the surfer Sting, was the best ever.
Yeah. It's just wild to think that in 3 weeks Sting's going to be gone.
That's actually sad.
Are you going to be singing the theme song? He's a man called Sting. A man called Sting.
Yeah, I might. TSK better get ready.
Oh, wait, I have to get ready. He just said so. I forget, I'm TSK too, yeah.
You sure are.
He's a man called Sting. Man called Sting. So yeah, I mean, Sting at this time and Rob Van Dam. Now, Rob Van Dam, you want to talk about push to the moon? Right after this, he wins the TNA World Heavyweight Championship from AJ Styles. Wins the TNA Championship. I'll start with Roberto again on this. Rob Van Dam becomes the TNA World Champion in a mere 2 months when he was with the company.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. It just seemed so sudden, almost too sudden, to be honest.
Nicola?
I didn't like it because, like you just said, and I've said this before on many shows, that when people come in, let them build up. Don't just go, here's a title. And that's what they did with that. So, in a way, I didn't like it for that reason, which was I wanted to see more first. And then, yeah, there's a title. You're like worthy. But they didn't do it back then. It was just hey, new people. Right. There you go.
Yeah, and
You know?
TNA, I mean, that's what kind of
TNA was
kinda,
known for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this, and I have to bring this up as well because, like I said, we talked about a lot of great stuff in here. We mentioned the tag teams, man. One of the best of 7 series ever. Beer Money and the Motor City Machine Guns. Oh my God, they tore it up. They tore it up.
They did.
Like those two teams, and then you had the mixture of Generation Me when the Young Bucks were Max and Jeremy Buck. Man, so they come from Ring of Honor and they're fucking Generation Me. Now, we'll start there because we mentioned great tag team wrestling, their precision, and the overall fluidity that they had. But what were your thoughts on them boys from Rancho Cucamonga or Mucha Cucamonga? Mucho Chocho. What were your thoughts on them?
As a Southern California.
Yes. Dallas on my side.
Dallas is right here.
I'm gonna put you in the front.
Excuse me.
I don't know, fucking.
As a Southern California resident, I'm big Young Bucks, Generation Me, loved it all. We'll always support these guys. Motor City Machine Guns. I hope Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin wrestle for the next 25 years. Those two together are absolutely amazing.
And Beer Money. With your money and your alcohol, Robert Davis.
Legendary.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks that Robert Roode, Bobby Roode, whatever we're calling him now these days, has had to hang it up. I would have loved to see him keep going. He was tremendous back then. He was tremendous now. Absolutely awesome.
Now, Nicola, your thoughts on the Generation Me name, Beer Money, Motor City Machine Guns? What'd you think there with your Rancho Cucamonga? Mucho Chocho.
Sorry about your damn
luck.
Well, I said before that the cowboy for us, or our generation, was James Storm. So he's the original cowboy to me, or in like our era. But I loved Beer Money. I loved, obviously, back then, I don't know if Bobby Roode was going by the It Factor at that point.
No,
he was just Bobby Roode.
No, he was just Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode.
I never disliked him. I always thought them two as a team was awesome. And also I liked how in the end when they separated, Roode turned on Storm. So it was like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? But it was good to watch. I'm a fan of all the tag teams, to be fair. Chris Sabin, I still say, he looks so different now than what he used to, but someone explained that to me. So I was like, what? So yeah, I understand now. But when he was doing it back then, well different to what he looks now.
I think he took a couple years off, didn't he? Retire briefly.
He to retire briefly from injury,
yeah,
he did. Cause he had, and also I think there was other things I think as well that I read, but I don't remember for sure.
I think it was injury, wear and tear at the time. Yeah, then he came back. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like all the tag teams, or all the ones you mentioned anyway. They were all great to me. So yeah.
I will say this: when it comes to Chris Sabin, folks, this was 3 years before he had one of the worst ever TNA World Heavyweight Championship runs ever. I was happy he beat Bully Ray, but goddamn it, that TNA World Title run sucked so badly. It was
wasn't it like for a week,
like 3 weeks,
or some
3
weeks. But we was all glad because obviously Bully Ray was when he was like leader of the Ace and Eights.
Ice is an Ice.
Yes, fucking Ace and Eights. just to so you could all remember me in the future, like you did from back then.
You do realize that actually is probably going to be a topic on the show coming up very soon. We're going to talk.
What me swearing the Ace and Eights.
Yeah, well, it's going to happen, man. You got Tourette's. You had a little bit of Tourette's at the time. It's okay. Sometimes it happens.
Oh yeah, that's what you call demon possession.
Shit. I was gonna say there might have been other things involved that she was unaware of at the time that she is aware of now.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of the knowledge I know now about myself. There we go. I had something that needed to come out, which you kind of helped with, to be fair, Mike.
You're welcome.
And then we just made it worse with Rob. So yeah,
you know, we sure did.
And now look.
Exactly. But that's the thing too. And that was really pretty much that encompassed it. I think the final two things I will mention is, first of all, going back to January 4th, this was at the same time they were going head to head with Monday nights. Like, this was a big deal. On one show, like we mentioned, AJ Styles and Kurt Angle, and we saw the debuts of Jeff Hardy, Ric Flair, and Hulk Hogan coming in. But on the other program, that counter program, this was the 14 years since they've saw each other, and they rekindled their friendship or just made peace with each other, was Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels coming together and bearing the hatchet from the Montreal Screwjob. And then Vince McMahon would go and look to make peace with Bret, but no, it was a kick to the ding-ding for Bret Hart, the best there is, the best there was, and the best nut shot that there ever will be. Vince McMahon comes out, and then that sets up WrestleMania 26, one of the worst matches ever, but we won't go there. What were your thoughts on the fact that it was counter-programming Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart making peace, and then that would build to Vince and Bret at that WrestleMania? Roberto, I'll start with you. Kicking the ding-ding, pal!
This was just, I don't know, it just seemed terrible. Everything just at the time just seemed really, really bad. I remember watching all this, and I just said, fuck this shit, I'm out.
No thanks.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
No thanks.
Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave.
Excuse me, please.
Excuse me, please.
So,
yeah, it was a rough time. I think that's when I officially just kind of checked out and didn't check back in for another 6 years.
Nicola, what were your thoughts?
You're gonna love my answer.
Okay, what were your thoughts on the counter programming of Vince and Bret and Shawn to TNA at the time?
Ready? No, fuck no. That's my answer to that.
Fair enough, but that was kind of what that was the episodes that started what we're talking about in today's forum. And then the last thing I will mention, because we mentioned a lot of good stuff here today in the Hulkamaniacs, brother, and Hulk Hogan and Abyss against AJ Styles and Ric Flair, which I'm just going to say this right now. Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan bleeding buckets, and that match. Mind you, when these two cannot wrestle anymore and they need to do the smoke and mirrors, let's just fucking bleed. That's what it is. It's the Crimson Mask. It was from Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair at the time. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's probably all it is now. I mean, people were petitioning for Hogan to come back at Royal Rumble, and I'm just like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Why? He's broken now.
Because he made the thing on Raw that he was like, who knows, brother? I may have one more in me. But thank God it was just he was doing the opening video for Royal Rumble and not actually in the match.
Yeah.
I am grateful for one thing. The Ace and Eights, they broke his hip. So thank you, Ace and Eights.
So
for that one.
That match
no, he ain't coming back.
Yeah, that match happened with Hulk Hogan and Abyss against AJ Styles and Ric Flair.
So,
oh man. Oh, one other thing I have to mention with Abyss and Desmond Wolfe for the Battle of Chelsea. Remember Chelsea with Desmond Wolfe? Oh,
yep.
Now, Robert, I'm going to say this because you're a Nigel fan, as we all are here, and we love ourselves. we love our Nigel McGuinness.
We do.
Robert, what were your thoughts on Desmond Wolfe and Abyss and just him and TNA at the time?
A proper Londoner, that Nigel.
Yes.
Fuck Nigel. Sorry, I
just That's all I was waiting for. It was interesting. I remember kind of at the time being kind of checked out of it, so I didn't really catch too much of it, but it was something that still caught my attention somewhat.
All right, fair enough. Now, Nicola, your thoughts on that boy Desmond Wolf and his girl Chelsea?
Oh my.
Right, when I stop crying about what I just said, right, I'll come back to reality now. Oh, right. Anyway, Desmond Wolf, I actually didn't mind him as much. Uh, and as for Chelsea, what the fuck? Again, I didn't know what was going on, and I did get a bit confused with what they were doing. And again, fuck Nigel.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. I gotta
Actually, I don't even know who Nigel is. I'm just saying. I do really. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I
Hey,
don't
wait
know
a
who he
minute.
is.
Are you going to be Smirch, the great name of Nigel McGuinness? You're going to be Smirch up in here? Is that what you're doing? You're going to be Smirch?
No, I know exactly who he is. I'm messing.
Yeah, we hear about it every week on
I've met him I've met him personally. No, I have not. Fuck you now. I have not. Jesus Christ. Oh dear.
because he just goes so constantly at that clam digger, Brian Danielson.
I know, right? Well,
Yeah, what the fuck? That's why I fuck Nigel.
do
Pretty
you
much.
now? Do you want to see him back in the ring to have that final match with Brian Danielson, if he can?
No.
If he can,
No.
absolutely. I think it would be. I think it would be phenomenal, to be honest.
So, if none of them have seen the infamous matchup, there's the infamous match where Brian Danielson and Nigel McGuinness were headbutting the shit out of each other and making themselves bleed. Remember that match? Like that was the big talk on the Indies, like in the mid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If Nigel can do it, I think that would be great. But definitely his health comes first. We can keep him just talking shit at the commentary table.
I love when Edge told them, "Shut up, Nigel." Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was funny. I just sat there,
I know you're
literally
talking crap down
laughing.
there, Nigel.
And then I think I shouted out "fuck Nigel" when I heard them lot all start laughing and go, "Here she goes again." And I was like, "Oh shit."
Well, oh shit is indeed, because the last thing that we have to talk about here is not only did they have the Mondays from January to May, they went back to Thursdays on May 13th. So, last thing I'll say here, Nicola, what were your thoughts on the fact that they went from Mondays, then they went back to Thursdays, just a mere 4 months later?
I was happy because, like I said, that was like my weekend thing. So, or Thursday thing, whatever. But I'd got used to the Monday stuff. So it was like, oh, great. Now I've got to change because obviously the time difference and all of that stuff, it was different time in here than it was for you lot. So it'd be on, say, like you there and then say 4 hours later or 8 hours later, it'd appear here. So it was better in the long run, I think, being back on the Thursdays because it was a time, obviously, we all know I stay up endlessly to watch anything anyway. I don't. I'm a weirdo. I stay up all night.
You don't sleep.
You don't?
No, no, not
Roberto,
anymore.
Roberto, back to Thursdays from Mondays. What'd you think?
I thought it was probably I don't want to say best for business because that would be too
I
cliche.
was about to say, wait a minute there, Roberto.
Touche.
But I think it's a good idea. Especially now in this era that we're in right now. We've got wrestling on almost every day of the week, or just about damn near. So it does give you an opportunity to kind of watch everything. I know back then I don't think DVRs and those type of things were really all that popular or were they even around back then.
I think they were starting to come into fruition, but they weren't as big as they are now.
Yeah, so I mean, not everybody was probably privileged to have a DVR, so it's not like you literally have to choose: am I watching Raw or TNA, or am I flipping through the channels like I did back in the day with WCW? Like, for us kids that grew up during that WCW WWF period, which would be all of us.
Yep.
There was fun in doing that. I kind of think as an adult that would be kind of exhausting to just try to go back and forth and keep up and be enamored in the show. I'm kind of getting exhausted thinking about it, but I kind of thought it was the better idea for TNA to go back to Thursdays.
So I think in closing here, it was great to see. First of all, competition's healthy. Variety is awesome,
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
at the time, man, I was thinking to myself, nothing will ever compete with what we had in the 90s with the WCW, WF Monday Night Wars. I mean, it was a nice shot. I mean, I remember the first episode where the guy had the sign much comparing to like Bischoff owns Vince, Hogan owns Vince, or Hogan Vince fears Hogan, what have you. There was a lot to get into because everybody was so excited. But I think with, again, the different, times, everything, the different products and just the different presentation, so to speak. I think at the time, TNA, again, doing great business. I mean, we had a great roster, we had great talents, but I think at this particular time, they weren't really ready to go to that yet. I think it was very much too soon, but Hulk Hogan came in. So, Hulk Hogan was the savior, so to speak, at TNA, the end all be all. So I think it was a nice try. I think it was, hey man, nice shot, to quote Felter. But I think, yes, sir. But I think all in all, man, it was an exciting time for the X amount of months that we did have. And I think it's something that, hell, we're even talking to this day, and it's only 14 years later, god dang it.
It definitely was. But again, I think it's one of those things that's often imitated, never replicated. Like there's so many people that are just clamoring to that period of time in wrestling where we had that competition, and it's just like we're never going to get that again. That moment in time is going to be special to those of us that lived through it. And there's always the archives that we can go back and watch. But if you didn't live through it, sorry about your damn luck. To be honest, it's
Yeehaw.
check the trash can. But there's always, especially now, it's just like with the Wednesday Night Wars thing, it's just like, come on, like we've had this happen already. It doesn't have to happen again.
Agreed, man. And first of all, I like your often imitated, never duplicated freaking Captain Robert Davis over here. Now I need you to put rubber bands on your face like Captain Lou, man. I'm waiting for that. You got a Captain Robert Davis over here.
Next show.
All right, I got you back. But yeah, man, that pretty much is the Monday Night Wars wrap up with a lot of the stuff that we remember, a lot of our thoughts and a lot of our memories, and just the overall division of that time period of 2010. For me, I was a youngin'. I was a senior in high school at this time when the Monday Night Wars 2.0, so to speak, was going into fruition, and for those X amount of months. And I mean, it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. And what is always fun is doing these shows because, man, we got more content coming from deep into the heart of wrestling. We got predictions to do in a few weeks, my friends, covering the Elimination Chamber, headlined by the Men and Women's Elimination Chamber. Who's going to face Rhea? Who's going to face Seth? We got Rhea and Nia Jax for the Women's Championship. We got the Judgment Day against Robert Davis's favorite tag team, a British Strong Style, Tyler Bate and Peter Dune. Or if you're pretty dead, Peter Dune. Yeah. So,
just glad he's not Butch anymore.
No, me too. Absolutely. Agreed. We got a lot to come. And now our next topic. Well, yeah, we're still going to be in the TNA realm, if you will, so to speak. We're going to do a lot of superstar spotlights. We're also going to do a lot of great topics. And personally, I love getting your guys' reaction, and especially in this next episode that we have coming up. Folks, we're going to be talking about the career of Tessa Blanchard in TNA. We're going to be talking about Mexico. We're going to be talking about the Mae Young Classic. We're going to be talking about her quote-unquote struggles. And, well, I'm going to play a sample of that because that's going to be great to get your reaction about the struggles. So, yeah. We're going to be talking about Tessa Blanchard, and I can't wait for this show because it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Oh, Karen's not a puta.
All right, first of all, who's number one and number two on the putas? Who's number one, Karen or Tessa? Who's number one on the putas?
Karen.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Karen.
Tessa's close. She's up there.
Tessa's number 3. The other one's number 2.
All right, it's gonna go Karen, Remy, and Tessa. There you go.
There we go.
So yes, I mean we're joking and we're having laughs here, folks, but we are going to dive into Tessa Blanchard because, mind you, very talented person. But her attitude fucking knocked her the fuck out of the wrestling. Oh, God. We'll get into that next show because it's going to be a lot of fun as always. And that'll conclude this edition. And, man, thank you for bearing with us for our laughters and our bit kickery and just overall fuck you, Nigel McGuinness, you fucking Tower of London creative moving bastard. Fuck you, sir. And everything that came.
Yeah.
and everything that came into this show. Roberto, now you got a lot going on, man. TSK, you're doing your own artistry, if you will, applying your craft. Where can we follow you, bro?
Boy, I do got a lot going on. I do have another podcast with some boys of mine. We are the Too Sweet Click over on the Max Wrestling YouTube. Kicking it with the TSK. We went on a pretty good tangent. We released 6 shows in about 4.5, 5 weeks. We're taking a little breather, of course. So come check us out there on the Max Wrestling Podcast YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Any of my social media, you can find me at linktree/hey it's Rob.
I will say this, man. With all of that content going out, you need to get your nighty night on. So get some sleep, man, because there's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's time to go nighty night, bro.
It is, man. It is. Now, Nicola, I mean, it is Demon Hour over there, so you'll be going nighty night soon. So where can we follow you on the social media fronts?
Will I be going nighty night, or will I be doing things I shouldn't be doing? We'll see.
Probably demon things.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Trust me, I'm being good, Nicola. After this, no. Anyway, where can you find me in hell? Obviously, just look down there. You know, summon me. No, do not summon me.
Do not summon her.
No, do not. Trust me, you won't like it. Ask Mike. He didn't summon me, but he knows, and Rob knows.
We did have to summon you back when you dropped out earlier.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I apologize about that. Like I said, the UK weather right now is shite. Rain, wind, you know, the basics. It's our winter. Anyway, right, you can find me in hell. You can also find me on Twitter, which is Nicola8535.
853. You were there, Nicola.
Sorry. Yeah. My Instagram, I don't remember, barring the Demoness. I haven't used my Instagram for ages. Wait. No, I haven't used my basic Instagram account for a while. I have it, but I haven't been on there for a while. So, but if you want to find the Demoness, then obviously Demoness there.
Yep, link will be in the description.
And do not summon her. Just warning. Oh, and a shout out to everybody at Max as well.
Yeah. Shout out to the boys over at Max Wrestling, and check out Kicking It with the TSK, Roberto Davis, and check out all the fine programming there. And you can check out our fine programming here on the Michael Larkin YouTube channel. We have surpassed over 700, I think 40 plus. Let's keep it growing, folks. Thank you all for subscribing and on this journey.
Thank you.
These crazy.
You're subscribed to this Looney Tune and these
crazy sons of guns
Thank
right
you.
here. Yes, to this crazy Sons of Guns with me and myself and Steve, the LFC podcast, myself and Daniel Crimmins, and all that good stuff. So, I mean, it's going to be great to see a lot more content coming. It's great to see so many great faces tuning into this show and great people tuning into the channel. So keep on tuning in. Keep on subscribing. We're going to be talking Tessa Blanchard in the next episode. She's undeniable, and she's, well, yeah, her. And we'll get into analyze, dissect, and decipher her career. For Robert Davis, for Nicola McDonald, my name is Mike Larkin. This concludes another edition of Deep into the Heart of Wrestling. And Nigel McGuinness, you fucking tosser. We'll see you in the next episode.
Fuck you, Nigel.